Hello, hello. Once again, I am joined by JB Rainsberger. Hi,
How you
JB.
doing, folks?
And we're going to ask him a couple questions about Ruby today. I got three questions for you.
I'll do
But,
my best.
and I haven't prepared you for anything, so
That's
just
right.
whatever comes first. And
As Neil Tyson says, you're not trying to stump me, but you just want to have a little bit of spontaneity here, right?
exactly. So, what attracts you to Ruby as a programming language?
I like the mix of uh, flexible and object-oriented. And maybe object-oriented really isn't that important to me, but I like the fact that when you want some structure and some safety, you can have it. But most of the time, you can just do whatever you need to do to get things done. I kind of like that it trusts me as the programmer. It gives me the kind of rope that C gives you to hang yourself with, but it's a little harder to hang yourself.
Awesome. So, how does Ruby differ from other languages that you've used?
Um, I did most of my work in Java, and one of the simplest differences is that in Java everything has to belong to a class, and in Ruby not everything has to belong to a class, or at least not everything has to appear to belong to a class. That's just one really simple difference. But for me, I like that. You can just run stuff in Ruby a lot easier. It can just be a 2 or 3 line little script, and you don't have to worry about public static void main and any of that craziness that was inherited from C and wherever it came from before that. I don't know whether that came from B or Algol or where, but Java inherited it and Ruby didn't.
Right on. So, do you think Ruby is a good first language for a beginner to learn? And if so, why or why not?
I think Yeah, I think Ruby can be a good gateway drug to good design because you can get going and you can do really simple things and you don't have to learn a lot of magic to write your first Ruby program, right? You can just type puts hello world in quotation marks and run it, and that's a valid Ruby program. So I like that it can get people going quick and give them that sort of quick sense of completion, but at the same time, you're not limited to it doesn't you to write COBOL. You can still organize things. You have ways of organizing stuff when you have more than just puts hello world. So I think it makes for a good first language in that regard. That said, maybe once you've figured out the real basics of the syntax, there's an awful lot of stuff in Ruby that, for the most part, you shouldn't be allowed to see or touch for a few years. And that's always a tough thing because you don't want to needlessly shackle people, but at the same time, you want to give them some good guidelines, and you don't want to make it too easy for them to do the wrong thing. And that's, I think, one area where Ruby's flexibility is also one of its risks, is that it's a little bit too easy to do the wrong thing. At least it's not as bad as Perl, where you can do everything 1,000 ways, and everybody in the world knows a slightly different way of doing it. I think that Ruby kind of does a good job of mixing those things, finding the balance among those things, and so it's maybe a bit of a risky first language, but it's not going to give you the kind of brain damage that something like Java would.
Awesome. Thank you so much, JP,
You got it.
for your time. We will be back with you again tomorrow for some new questions about something else that I like and find very interesting. Have a great day.
All right. Take care, everyone.